Morning, everybody. It's been a while. It's been a couple of months, actually. So, why have I not been streaming? I've actually been traveling quite a bit. So, my wife and I went to Japan for 3 weeks, which was amazing. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Would definitely go again. And we actually plan on going back once we save up for that. So, that's why I was gone for like the first chunk of time. And then what I ended up doing is I edited a vlog that is of the trip, and that vlog is going to be coming out probably in about 2 weeks. I'm still finalizing the edits. I'm like 95% of the way through that. And so I was spending time on that, and then went and hung out with family for the holidays. And so I was doing that. And so then I ended up getting like a cold, and it made it so that like I could barely talk for like over a week. So it's just like one thing after another, whether it was traveling or editing that vlog or whatever. And that's why I've been gone for a couple of months now. And I haven't been practicing drums that entire time. So we'll see how today goes with playing. In fact, my forearms feel a little weird already. Nice. Starting off strong. All right. Well, anyways, we are going to be practicing limb independence today. So today what I'm going to do is just kind of review some patterns that I played previously. So the last stream that I did about 2 months ago was this one. So I ended up playing 62 different limb independence patterns with one chart. And so it was just over a 3-hour stream. It was a very long stream. This is something that I've been like trying to work on because I am a rudimental drummer, then a concert percussionist, and like probably 1% of my time has been working on drum kit stuff. So I wanted to challenge myself to like work on all these limb independence patterns, specifically out of this book, which is by Don Moyle. It's called 50 Ways to Syncopation. Highly recommend it. Fantastic book. And what I ended up doing was going through all 50 of Dom's variations and then 12 more variations that are not in Dom's book, all with one chart. And some of them went great, and others were still kind of like, yeah, you need to work on that some more. So today what I'm going to do is just kind of review some of the patterns, and then I'm going to play through some technique stuff tomorrow, and then on 2 days from now, I will resume actually like grinding out these patterns, trying to improve the ones that I'm not good at yet. So there are a ton of streams that I've done, almost 500 of them actually, all with timestamps showing what I was talking about, what kind of question I was answering, or what I was practicing. Now, in these like live streams, think of it like office hours. I'm here to just practice and to get better, and if people have questions, you can ask them. And there have been some fantastic questions. What I will often do after the stream is I will edit these and put them into this playlist that has over 18 hours of drumming Q&A from all the wonderful questions that I've either received on these live streams or in the comments on my YouTube videos. The first thing that I talk about is whatever the title is. So like on number 88, it's how to play relaxed accent taps. And if it says, and other drumming tips, or and other teaching tips, that means there are more topics in there. Just use the timestamps in the description and you can find a ton of different questions that I have responded to on all these live streams. And if you're like, why would I trust you, Jared? I've been drumming since 1998. I have a bachelor's, master's, PhD in music education, so I have a wide range of experiences and whatnot with performing and teaching. Why, hello to you. Okay, now I haven't played in forever, and at the start of these streams, I like to reenact Shia LaBeouf's motivational speech. So we're going to do that. It just gets me into a goofy mindset, so I don't take this too seriously, because I'm just trying to have fun practicing. So Shia, help me out, motivate me. I haven't played in 2 months. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Yeah. Shia LaBeouf, thank you so much. Everybody is super motivated. Welcome back. Hey, I appreciate it. Brian, how you been? I'm glad to be back. Why, hello on Twitch. Okay, now that we're super motivated, we are going to be playing through some limb independence patterns. Now, I'm going to just warm up with a very basic pattern. And again, this is from Don Moyle's book. Again, 50 Ways to Syncopation. So this is pattern number 2 that is out of here. And so the pattern on here is this. So ding, ding, ding. Okay, so we got ourselves a swung cymbal. Meantime, oh yeah, we got to get the memes to get ourselves warmed up mentally. Now, the pattern says that I'm going to play short notes. Oops, I forgot. It's been so long since I've done this. How do I pull this up? I actually forget how to do it. Oh no, it's been forever. Is it this? No. Is it this? I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to pull this thing up. Oh man, it's been 2 months since I've done this. It's been too long. Okay, so I'm trying to put it up the screen so that you can actually see what I'm talking about. And there's a shortcut for it. And I don't know how to do it. That one. There we go. Man. It's been forever. Okay, so the pattern that I'm playing is not pattern number 53, it's this one. So pattern number 2. So ding, ding, ding. So, oh, really? It got rid of it on there too? Okay, my apologies. Hold on one second. I am trying to figure this out. Drumming with a screen. Yeah. What is the key bind to show? Switch to the scene. No, it's not that. No, it's not that. No, it's not that. No, no. It's not that either. Let's see. You have a question? Why did Blue Devils play so low this year? Oh, I actually have a video that came out very recently on that. In my shorts feed. I'll show you that here in a second. My apologies. I am super unsure where this thing is at. Okay, I'm gonna do a workaround where I can just put it up manually for each one of these. So you can see the text there and there. Let's do it for this camera too. We're gonna go there and there. Okay, I can do it. Believe in yourself. Just do it. Make your dreams come true, as Shia LaBeouf would say. Okay, so the video, Brian, actually, that I have, that is on that. If you go to my YouTube channel, under the shorts, this came out, like, I think 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago. Scroll down. This one. So why did BD score low in drums in 2025? So those are just some, like, quick thoughts that I had on why that is. But yeah, just go there. It's kind of funny you had that question, and I just happen to have a resource that came out for that. Okay. Now that you can actually see the text, if you're on the vertical stream, it's right here. If you're on the horizontal stream, it's right there. That is the thing that I'm playing. Tyler, good morning. How have you been? It's like I never left. I mean, with the technical difficulties, it feels like it's been forever. I can't even remember the hotkeys I assigned. So I'm going to play Ding 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 on the ride. Cool. Hi-hat on 2 and 4. Yay! Swung 8th notes on the snare drum. Anything longer than 8th note is going to go on the bass drum, also going to be swung. Now, how am I going to work on this? Well, using this spreadsheet. Last time I played through it at 170. Woo! Okay. So we're going to go to my website. My website has thousands of free resources. It's the same stuff that I have on YouTube on my home tab, but it's organized neater than I can on YouTube because, you know, it's a website. So if we scroll down past the chop stuff, past the grid stuff, into the limb independence section, what I'm going to be practicing are these charts here. There's straight charts, all the way from 40 beats a minute, all the way up to 240 beats a minute. And then there's swung charts. Because I'm playing at 170, I'm going to go into the swung charts right here from 160 to 240. And inside of here, there are 55 drum charts that you can use to practice. I'm just going to pick a random one. We'll go with this one, 16 through 20. Sure, sounds great. Now, in all of these play-alongs, all thousands of them, there are timestamps in the description so you can jump to whatever BPM you want. So if I want to play this at 170, I just click 170. And then It's going to go to 170. Why didn't it click? There you go. Good job, YouTube. You can do it. Yeah, we want it at the lowest resolution known to mankind. Don't do that. Okay. Turn the volume up. Okay. Okay. What's happening? What's happening? It froze. You've been doing great. Okay, past about 4 minutes of production. Ooh, that's awesome. That's a lot of content to have this early in the season. GG's. I hope you're having fun with it. Don't get too stressed out about it. Remember, you're making music. It's fun. Whoa. Like, pause it for a second. Hold on. Let me move my mouse. Because I'm using this as like a tabletop, my hand, when I was playing, it just like hit it for a second and like hiccup. Oh man, my brain has not fired these neurons in 2 months. It feels weird. It's been stressful. Yep. I know what you mean. I'll read it more when I'm not also reading the chart. Oh, I can answer that question real quick. How's my time off? Amazing. Japan is phenomenal. I can't wait to go back there. Genuinely such a wonderful place. The vlog should come out hopefully in 2 weeks. It's so cool. But there's over 2,000 videos, or just under 2,000 videos that I took with my wife. And so I'm editing, and I'm like 95% of the way through there. And then we hung out with family after that for the holidays, so that was great. But then I caught a cold. My nephew was sick, so then like everybody got sick. And so like that wasn't fun. And then my voice is finally able to talk. I'm still a little congested, but overall feel good enough to actually stream again. And we're actually getting dogs this week. So 2 dogs. Looking forward to that. That's gonna be Thursday. So this weekend we went and met them. A Doberman and a Lab Pit Bull mix. Super sweet. Looking forward to adding them to our family. But yeah, it's been good. Even though I was sick, I got a lot done. So that was cool. Okay. All right. So, that honestly went better than I thought it would. Hello to you. A couple of people in the vertical. Which, by the way, there's actually 2 verticals going on right now. I wanted to experiment with YouTube's new feature to, like, simulcast to horizontal and vertical. And it doesn't work good. So, one of them is, like, just the center of my screen. So, it's, like, probably just, like, this much of it. And then it doesn't show everything else. But then the other one, the vertical, it shows like the screen above and then me, etc. But Overall, I had fun with this. It was technically proficient while doing this. Cool. So now we'll play another one here in a second, but let me actually go back to, hello, thanks for the waves. Let's go back to here. It's been stressful. It all falls on you. You've been bracing it? That's good. My only bit of unsolicited advice to you, having been in that situation as like a caption head for, what was it, like a decade at a couple of different programs and whatnot, is find ways to make sure that you process the stress in a healthy way. So for me, a big way of doing that was working out. That like helps your body, helps you physically, but mentally, it just helps you to just kind of like work through frustration. So I really love doing Muay Thai in particular. So it's basically kickboxing. And so I have a Thai bag, like a 120-pound banana bag, so you can like do kicks and punches, etc. And that is such a good stress reliever. So find something like that is disconnected from making music to just kind of be able to just decompress for a little bit. And I say this as somebody who like taught 7 days a week, literally all day, every day, because I loved it so much. It's still, sorry, lingering cold. It's still good to just like decompress from that, because it is stressful. But as long as you can like maintain having fun in some way, then it just totally makes it worth it in the long run. Okay, so let's review another one because I have not played in forever. I want to do this one. This one is so much fun. So the pattern, if I can pull this up, is here, and let me paste. I am an amateur streamer right now trying to figure this out. I don't even remember what the button is for that. It says 140. I'm going to do it at a nice comfortable 120 because I haven't played in 2 months. So what I'm going to do, ding, 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 so we're still swinging. Ding, 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 ding. Eighth notes are going to be played on the snare drum like that. So the eighth notes on the charts. So we're we're going to play anything longer than an eighth note on the bass drum and the cymbal. So you could do it on the ride, you could do it on your crash, whatever you want to do. You do you. So etc. While we're filling in triplets on the snare drum. So what that looks like in practice for your hands is if you're playing like quarter notes, is pa-da-da, 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 right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. If you're doing swung eighth notes on the toms, it's right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. While doing 2 and 4 on the hi-hat. So ding, 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 yeah. It's so fun. I love it. It's a little wonky, though. This seems hard. It is until you get it down. There's a more basic version in Dom's book, number 3, where you're just doing... So you play it all on one thing, and you don't add in the extra timbre change in the bass drum on the long notes. So that's a simpler version if somebody wants to start with that. That's what I started with, and then I was eventually able to do this. So we're going to do this at 120. Now, the way that we're going to do this is I'm going to go to my home tab of the Tuba View. I'm going to scroll down past all the chops and grid stuff, and I'm going to the limb independence section. For any of these headers, just click on it, and it shows you more playlists than it'll show on the first page. Because I'm playing swung, I'm going to swung charts, and because I'm playing at 120, I'm going to go inside of here. And there are 55 different charts to pick from. I'll just go with the first set of 5. And then in the timestamps, you can pick whatever your BPM is, and it'll count off, and you'll hear a play along in your headphones. I have it muted on your end because there's like a synchronization delay. One. Ooh, I didn't see a comment. Let me. That's awesome that you have support. That is a huge factor as well. Yeah, like my wife is like super supportive. I've had significant others who have also been supportive, like back when I was marching, etc. It's fantastic. Fantastic. When you have that. fun, right? Cool pattern. I like it. She looks out for you more than you look out for yourself. Yeah, so my framing is the most important thing for me to focus on is me, and then my wife, and then helping other people in that order. Because if I can't help myself, I won't be able to help others as effectively as I'd like. And I used to have that reverse, where I would help others before I'd help myself, and it didn't go good. It's hard to talk. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I used to help others before I'd help myself, and I got burned out. My depression got really bad. And when I learned to flip it, so focusing on myself, focus on my significant other, and then focus on other people in that order, it made it so I could help people more effectively. Hey, speaking of, hi wife. You wonder if talking during this high brain activity talk is how it feels for stroke victims to learn to speak again? Similar things. I don't know. I know some people who have had strokes, and I've seen like some research on it in relation to music. But not enough to be able to speak about it. But the one of the things that I've heard about strokes, you know how like it makes so that you like try and speak, and then it comes out all jumbled. Like you try and say like the word like apple, and instead it says like airplane. The way that I think about it is it's kind of like if when you go onto your keyboard and you like accidentally are shifted over to like a different key and you try typing normally and it just comes out completely different. That's how I kind of think of it in my head, but I could be completely wrong. Better than I thought it would go. For how long it's been. Like, not only have I not streamed in 2 weeks, but I also haven't drummed in 2 months. I haven't drummed in 2 months. Kind of hard to drum when you're in a different country. Cool. All right, so at 120, it was kind of switching between musical and technically proficient. So the technically proficient basically means like, hey, are you able to play the ink on the page and make it all like sound the same? And then making it more musical is like, you'll notice that I added in some different accents on those ghost notes. So instead of just playing like or just like add in some extra timbres, extra textures, extra volume changes. That is where you are going ultimately trying to get to. And so I was doing that when I was not talking. But when I was talking, it was like too much of, if you go with like cognitive load theory, like there's too much going on mentally. I was reading the music, I was reading the chat, I was responding to the chat while I was also playing. And so my brain could not handle the extra load of like adding in that improvisatory extra musicality to it. And so it didn't, it basically just sounded like the ink on the page. So it was technically proficient. But I had fun with it. I enjoy that one. That's a fun pattern. It's difficult, but it's cool. Any advice for finding the balance between perfectionism, detail orientation versus forward? As it pertains to teaching. When you say perfectionism, do you mean perfectionism with how you are teaching or how the group is performing? Because those are two very different ways of getting stuck in your head, or getting fixated on something. And I have perfectionism. I have a lot of experience with that and have spent a lot of therapy sessions specifically unpacking, trying to not get hung up on perfectionism. So I might be able to assist with that. But yeah, the teaching side of things is very different than the students performing and trying to get that perfect. Okay, let's see. Oops. I'm remembering the buttons. I can do it. Believe in yourself. Yeah, me. Let's see. Good point. Noticing incorrect details. More so the desire for everything to be correct at every level. I'm thinking. That's my internal thought drum solos. Really good questions, as always, Tyler. I really appreciate it. Trying to think of how to frame it. Because, yeah, there's so much to focus on. One of the things that I love about making music is there's always more to learn. There's always more to improve. And the amount of, like, granularity that you can focus on for just, like, simple things to improve over time is so detailed that, like, it's never ending. And I personally love that. But as somebody who has perfectionism and has suffered from perfectionism, which I would argue are two different things, one where it is debilitating and the other where it is, like, enhances my abilities in something. It's really important to contextualize what you're trying to fix in the broader scope of music making, especially when you're teaching students. You'll notice some things with, like, when they're playing, like, issues with grip or issues with clarity. If you're, like, working with a drum line or whatever, where, like, those rolls are not clean or the attack is not clean, all that stuff is never ending. I love it. But if you are too perfectionistic, it can end up slowing you down and slowing your students down because you're focusing so much on refining the little details that it gets in the way of your overall playing. One of the things that I try and do for myself and for, like, when working with students is think of what are consistent errors, what are inconsistent errors. The inconsistent errors, the second one, is likely like a mental mess up where it's just like, oh, that attack was dirty, or oh, that roll was bad. But it only happened one time. Those are usually, like, I was focusing on something else. Like, I was focusing on, like, what I was going to do later on in the day, or I was focusing on what somebody else said to me earlier in the day, etc. Those things you can largely ignore. The way that you address that is, like, improving attention over time, so that way you and students that you work with can focus more and try and eliminate those inconsistent errors. But it's the inconsistent ones that we need to leave to the side because That's not the biggest rock to focus on, the biggest boulder, etc. The thing to focus on are the consistent errors. If you have like 2 reps, 5 reps of something, and you're playing it and it's consistently bad flams, or your students are playing it and it's consistently like a dirty roll, or whatever it is that you're trying to improve. If you focus on that, that is going to, like, in the long run, give you a bigger bang for your buck, a bigger return on energy and investment for trying to refine it than those inconsistent ones. So when you notice an error as an instructor, give it a couple more reps and see whether or not that error is consistent or inconsistent. If it's inconsistent, and there are many of those that keep happening, work on attention training. Meditation is a great way to do that. Meditation is not just sitting there in a blissful state of Zen where you're just and you're not thinking of anything. There are many types of meditation. You can focus on like an object. Like, I am just going to focus on looking at the stick for the next 2 minutes, and then listening to the sound for the next 2 minutes, and then, I don't know, focusing on my breathing for the next 2 minutes, etc. There's a lot of internal and external motivation tools, techniques, tricks you can use to try and improve that kind of lack of attention that's creating inconsistent errors. But with the consistent errors, you have to be able to prioritize where this error fits in with the bigger scope of things, especially if you're like a tech or a caption head, is you have to think, will fixing this thing make it so that it fixes other things in the grand scheme of things? So, for example, if students have bad sounding rolls, where like every time they play the roll, the second note of the diddle sounds like this, where the second note is too low as opposed to where the second note is strong and at the same height as the first diddles. Okay, so we don't want this, but we want... If that is a consistent error where that second note is low, it might be worthwhile to focus on that if you play more than one roll. If you only have one roll, maybe don't focus on that. If it's like 1 count roll and then you never do a roll again, but you have a ton of flams and that is consistently not sounding good, maybe focus on flams more than that inconsistent roll, etc. So think of, how frequently is this a problem? Is it a problem in this one measure, or is this a problem in all of the like entire show or all of the movement, because you're consistently coming back to the same thing and every single time it's an issue? Where that might be, let me see how to phrase that. Where, as an example of like what might be really beneficial to work on, is like technique. If you can focus on playing like a relaxed technique, that can apply to everything that you play, as opposed to, we're going to clean just the grace note of the diddles to make it so that the timing of the grace note is consistent, so it's like not flat or not open or whatever. That might be useful in one context, but figuring out how to like really play with like a relaxed fulcrum, or what the fulcrum is, depending on how you're playing, there are many ways to do it, and defining that across the group will have a return on investment that applies across all these different scenarios, as opposed to just one specific chunk in the show, etc. And so, going back to, again, as a perfectionist, one time during my undergrad, I showed up to a lesson and the professor accused me of not practicing. But I had practiced a few hours a day, every single day the prior week, but I only practiced one measure because my perfectionism was getting in the way of me making overall progress. So it was a marimba piece that I was working on, and I literally spent a few hours a day, every day, working on that one measure because I was too in my head about, I got to make this perfect before I can move on. And it ended up making it so that I didn't learn anything else other than that one measure, which sounded great, but I didn't learn anything else. So the professor assumed that I didn't practice. When working with students, you have to think of that long-term context as well, and start with the bigger, like, we're going to learn the whole thing, and then we're going to slowly start to refine some of the details. Some people will go the other way, where they start with the details and then they go from there. There are some benefits to that, again, because they're going with the biggest bang for your buck, but go with whatever works for you and the students that you're working with. Neither of them are wrong, but if you get hung up on the bigger picture or hung up on the details, that's when it can like end up slowing you down. So I don't know if that assists with what is going on mentally for you with perfectionism, Tyler. But the thinking of the larger context and the amount of time that you have is constantly getting smaller when you are teaching a group, because the season is going to end at some point. So what you have to do is think about, with the amount of time that is available, what is the best way that we can spend the amount of time that we have left, or the energy that we have. So the time thing is, there's a finite amount, but the energy thing is also a finite amount. So sometimes it is more beneficial to focus on something that is detailed, and then other times it's just more beneficial to just get the reps in, just keep practicing it. And that might have to do with mental focus and the amount of energy that the students you have are able to produce in that moment. So at the start of the day, if you focus on the thing that is the biggest rock to do, when students are most energized, most focused, that will give you a bigger return on investment than trying to save it to the end when students are less focused and are tired or hungry or want to go home and work on homework or whatever. So if you prioritize during the day for the amount of energy that students are going to have, that can also help you out with figuring out when to work on something. So like sometimes at the end of rehearsal, it's just like, let's just play some reps. Let's just keep this going, and not necessarily break it down and spend an hour just working on the grace note spacing, etc. That we might do at the start of rehearsal when students are more energized. But at the end of the rehearsal, then we're just let's just keep going. And that takes into account the mental energy and the time that you have, etc. Good evening or morning to you too. It's morning for me. It's 8:45. Let me see. You think that's something that you can discuss with the members? Yes. Most definitely, Tyler. So these are all things that you can teach to students, because when I was teaching, the most important thing that I could focus on was teaching students to be able to teach themselves when I wasn't there to assist them. And it had to do with just like, think about how much time you have with the students you're working with. It might be like an hour a day, which is great, but there's 23 other hours in the rest of the day where they could be learning things, doing other things, etc. So being able to teach students to teach themselves for the long term makes it so that when they leave the rehearsal, and more importantly, when they leave the ensemble or even like leave the activity or whatever, they're still able to apply the lessons that they're learning outside of that context. And like for me, the biggest lessons that I have ever learned is lessons that help me help myself. So when I had students who would ask me questions, whether I was teaching music or computer science or whatever, what I would end up doing is often asking a question back to them to get them to think through, well, what are the steps that you would do to be able to fix this like bug that you had in computer science and in coding? Or if you were trying to work on this musically and you're like, oh, I don't know how to play this thing, what are some resources that you could try and use to be able to figure out whatever it is you're having an issue with, etc. Made frequent mistakes when you first taught. Yeah. So I did that too, Tyler, as well. I constantly, the way that I'm teaching right now is night and day from what I was teaching 23 years ago, when I first started in 2003. Play something, please. Right now I'm answering a question from somebody on the other chat, but I was playing it earlier. Ghost, hello. I'm doing good. Drumming seems complicated but fun. Yes, that is a very accurate statement. You're a drummer too? Nice. Me too. Or at least I try to be. But yeah, Tyler, I hope that helps in some way. It's a continuous process. Just know that like there are times to be a perfectionist, and then there are times to just do the work, get something done, make progress on something. And finding that balance is never ending. I'm constantly doing that. Like there are drumming scripts that I write for videos that I sometimes sit with for months because I want to like refine every single word and make it so that it's like as good as possible. And then there are others where it's just like, oh, I could do this in a day. Let's just get it out. And it again has to come down to like the return on the investment. So there's a video that is going to come out in a couple of weeks that I've been working on for a few months, and it's about how to speed up rudiments. And it is such a important video in terms of like its context being able to apply to help students out, that I've sat with it for that long because I want to make sure that it's as good as it can be. And then there are other videos that is like a very simple thing that I'll just like, oh, I can get this out faster. etc. You heard I went to Japan? Yeah, we went for 3 weeks. It was amazing. Genuinely amazing. Okay, so let's play another pattern. Since it's been a couple of weeks since I have not played, I want to play something else. I don't even remember all the different patterns that are available here. Let's do a weird one. So this one, I don't even know if I'll be able to do because it's been a while, but it's fun. It's fun to like mess with my brain. So pattern number 14. This is from Don Moyle's book. That's what the number's from. It's called 50 Ways to Syncopation. It is a great book if you want to learn limb independence. What I'm going to do is play through this so that we have ding, ding, ding. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But my feet are actually going to be in 3/4, so it's going to 1, 2, 3, boom, chick, chick, boom, chick, chick, boom, chick, chick. Okay. The entire time while reading charts that are in 4 on the screen. So this, we're going to try it. I'm going to actually go slower because I haven't played in a while. Let's do 150. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if my brain can keep up. And we're going to go to my home tab. There are thousands of free resources in here. You just have to click on each one of the headers. But in the limb independence section, I'm going to play a swung chart at 150. So I'm going to go into here. And we just did 1 through 5, so now let's pick a different one. I don't think I've played 31 through 35. It's your dream to go to Japan? Ghost, you would love it. It is. I want to go back right now. If I could, I would. It's expensive though, but we'll see. We'll get back there one day. The vlog will come out in probably about 2 weeks. I'm trying to finalize it. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. Ready, air. Messing with my brain. You want to learn some of the language first? It helps so much to be able to speak some Japanese. So many scenarios. Whether it was like, hey, where's the bathroom? Oterai wa doku desu ka? Or like, conversation like, hey, where did you buy that thing? Like, it was super helpful to have an understanding of Japanese. Read that wrong. Yeah, it's so, and the writing is super confusing because they use hiragana, katakana, which are like 2 different alphabets, and then kanji, which is like symbols for words. And every sentence can have all three of those. So the pronunciation is easier, but reading is so complicated. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. You've learned Latin-based language. Yeah, it's so different. I know some Japanese because of Duolingo, and then I have a friend who's from Japan. So I talk to her in Japanese. In fact, I'm later this year. I'm gonna take a test to try and become certified for bilingual at the basic level. So for Japanese, they have this thing called the Japanese Language Proficiency Test, the JLPT, and they have 5 different levels. Level 1 is the best. Level 5 is the lowest level. So it's kind of inverted from the numbers. So I want to apply for N5, number 5 this year. And then next year I want to do N4, so I want to keep trying to push myself to do that because it was super helpful to be able to speak Japanese for so many scenarios. But my understanding of Japanese is so limited overall. Hey, I appreciate you stopping in on the vertical. I hope the resources on my channel are helpful for ear drumming as well. Is it more hot or cold there? It gets cold. Like there, here I can show you. So on my home tab, there was a post that I did that had some of the pictures from Japan. So yeah, if like I was wearing like a t-shirt and stuff for like a lot of it and like jeans, and it was fine. This was end of November, early January or early December. I can number. But when we went to this mountain town called Koyasan, it snowed there. So you'll see here. It's not like making it bigger screen. Open in a new tab. Zoom. So it's snowing outside. This was our hotel room that we stayed in, basically. It was a 1,000-year-old temple that, a Buddhist temple in this little mountain town, and it was amazing. I can't wait to share this part of the vlog in particular. There's a cemetery there that had over 200,000 markers. 200,000. And we spent like over 3 hours there. It was the most beautiful place I've ever been to, which is really hard to explain, really weird, I know. But wait till you see the vlog. It's just like, wow. I saw, like, you know how YouTube just recommends random videos? Well, it like one day recommended this like walking tour of this cemetery, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty. And like I was like skipping around in the video, and I was like, I want to go there so bad. It was so beautiful. But it snowed when we were there. But otherwise, it was, I don't know, low 50s, etc. etc. You have a question? What's your question? Whenever you watch a movie that's in Japanese or Korean, love to hear the original audio. Yes. Yeah. It's also interesting hearing the original audio and knowing some Japanese and going, oh, that's actually not what they said. Like, my wife and I were watching YouTube last night, and it was a YouTuber who was talking to people in Japanese, and the translation was, like, not what they actually said. And I know with confidence, no, that's not what he said. The translation was, like, a review of something. Oh, that was 10 out of 10. But the actual thing they said was just, like, it was delicious, it was delicious. And it's like, those... oishi desu, delicious, delicious, is very different than like Judas. So it is 10, it is 10. And so it's like, no, that's not what they actually said. So it's interesting, like seeing some of that. We'll get that a lot with like anime, as well, where it's like, oh, I know that's not what they said, but the translation said something different. But I'm still really bad at it. I have so much to learn. Speaking of, let's try something that I was really bad at as well. And let's see if I can even remember how to do it. Okay, so this was one of the harder patterns that I came up with when practicing. So it takes a little bit to get through this, to figure out what's going on. Okay, so you know how you have so like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 as 16th notes. If you play those as triplets, so it's the same thing, but as triplets, instead of da 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 da, if you go with da 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 da, so triple da 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 da, triple. It makes it sound really weird, but in the hi-hat on 2 and 4, etc., while reading through the charts. So the charts, and etc. So short on snare, 8th notes on snare, anything longer than 8th note on the bass drum, etc. You're learning about Buddhism right now? Buddhism has had a profound impact on my own thinking. I love it. I love learning about Buddhism. It is so cool. It's like, why is it not switching tabs? Well, Jared, you see, you did this thing called closing a tab out, which makes it so you can't go back to it. Let's scroll down. Whee! Okay, so I'm going to go into the, not there, the limb independence section. And I'm going to play this at what BPM? 700? This spreadsheet allows me to keep track of these things because I forget. 125. Woo! Okie dokie. By the way, Chris, I don't see what your question is, which my guess is you either didn't ask it or you used words that blocked it, so I couldn't see it. Often get people who ask highly inappropriate questions or inappropriate comments, so those words get blocked. 125. I'm going to do, I guess, 46 through 50. Sure. In all these thousands of free play longs, just go to the timestamps. You can go to whatever BPM you want. Let's do this at 125. Wish me luck. This is a hard one. Haven't played it in 2 months, so I might have myself. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. One, two, 1, 2, ready, and. It's like riding a bike. Well, so Buddhism is a philosophy that can apply to any form of thinking, whether you're religious or not. So it's like a practices that you can follow with any religion. So like I don't talk about religion on the streams because it's like polarizing, but Buddhism is like a philosophy, and I'm okay with talking about philosophy. It's just like a way of thinking about the world and about like yourself. Sweet. That's what you thought too? Yeah. So you could be insert name of a religion and still follow Buddhist practices and thought. So you can do both. Alright, last chart. This is feeling more comfortable than it did the first chart. You know, again, it's like riding a bike. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that was fun. Honestly, it went better than I thought it would. It was mostly technically proficient, and I had fun with it. Yay! You're learning about the history of Buddhism? I know like some of the history, but for me it's more of the philosophy, the thought behind it, that is just like really cool. The idea of interdependence, impermanence. There's just so many things. It's like, oh, that's a really interesting way of thinking of the world. I like it. I like learning that kind of stuff. But, you know, to each their own. Cool. So this spreadsheet, by the way, you can make your own version of this that keeps track of like your like BPM, like what was the overall quality of the playing. Column A right here is actually keeping track of like on average across all these times I played this one was musical, but this one was technically proficient. And so I spent more than a year going through all 62 of these and getting them to be at least technically proficient or musical, as opposed to meh for some of these when I started, or needs a lot of work, which is even worse. So they all started not good, and then they got significantly better over time. Now, why hello to you on the vertical. The way that I practice this, you can learn it as well. If you go to the home tab of my channel, there are literally thousands of free resources that you can use to practice. So there's like chop exercises if you're a rudimental drummer like myself. So if you're on drumline, there's grid variations. There's over 1,000 of them. You want to click to actually show all of them. Where I was practicing today is the limb independence section. For any one of these playlists, every single one of them has inside of it this video that says how to develop limb independence on the drum kit. And that walks you through step by step the things that I did to be able to play through all 62 of these different variations for limb independence. So if you want to learn how to do that, this video shows you step by step how to do it, and it shows you some different patterns that you can do in here. So in the timestamps, it shows at the very beginning the 7 steps to do to start from very basic to the more advanced stuff. And then it's got a bunch of different patterns you can play. Now, this Friday, this video right here, one chart, 62 limb independence variations, that's from the last stream that I did 2 months ago. I know it's been a while. That has all the 62 variations that I worked on. And so this has the timestamps in the description to show 62 different ways that you can play through all 55 of these different drum charts, whether you're working on swung or straight variations for limb independence. If you don't care about limb independence, that's okay. There's still literally thousands of free exercises that can help you, like marching bass drum stuff. There's some different scores and ensembles, like Kip, if you're interested in that. There's some sight reading stuff. There's a ton of technique exercises. Just click on any of these headers, and then it shows you all the playlists. Some of them have a few videos, but some of them have a lot. Like that one has 89 videos. That one has 122, but that one only has 7 videos in it. And then finally, all these awesome questions that I get on the YouTube chats, I will often edit those responses and put them into this playlist that has right now over 14 hours of drumming Q&A. So there's over 100 videos inside of here on a variety of topics. The first thing that I talk about is the title. So, for example, what 3 rudiments should you play on the drum kit? And then if it says and other drumming tips or and other teaching tips, that means there are more topics inside of there. If it does not say that, that means that there's only one thing I talk about. Like this video is almost 15 minutes of talking about whether or not it's worth it to get a doctorate in music. And I say that as somebody who has one. So that was me answering a question live on stream, and edited down, it's about 15 minutes of response on what you should consider whether or not you should get that. So there's a ton of different topics, from basic stuff to more complicated things like literally getting a PhD in this topic, or a DMA, a Doctorate in Musical Arts. But anyways, if you're interested in it, check out the home tab. There's literally thousands of stuff in there. Any video that says members first will come out for free. So there's over 600 of them, so it might be like a year from now until it comes out, but there's a new play along releasing every single day. And then my goal is to release like a new drumming lesson every week on Monday. Like there's one that came out earlier, and then a new drumming tip video that'll come out every Friday. So like this one that says members first comes out this Friday. So stay tuned for that. And then there'll be another one the following week. If you want the early access, it's 99 cents. You just click join, it's 99 cents. And then all the other tiers are the exact same content, just the early access, just a higher support level if you want to do that. But 99 cents is the lowest I can make it on YouTube, and you get over 600 videos for free, or for 99 cents, early access to it. What's my favorite place that I've been to? Definitely Japan, and specifically in Japan, there's so many to choose from. It's amazing how beautiful it is. Like, give me a second. I can show you. I'll give you a sneak peek of some of the coolness that was Japan. Okay, so like this was an aquarium that we went to in Japan. They had a lot of really cool fish in there. We went to some absolutely beautiful places like in Gion. So like this is just some of the places inside of there. Let me actually improve the resolution so you can hopefully see it a little bit better. But like these are just some of the temples that you walk through. The color changes were amazing. This is one of the more well-known places in Gion, so Inari Shrine. It was like these iconic gates that you walk through, and that was beautiful. Just like seeing all of the different places in there. Arashiyama, it was really cool. It had a place where you could feed monkeys. So are you gonna do it? It's frozen. Cool. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Am I using a drum as a mouse pad? Yeah, this is my mouse pad. Oh, it's frozen. Dang. Let me see if I can jump to another spot. There's a Shinkansen. Show you this cemetery. Maybe I gotta lower the resolution. Maybe it's too high. Beep, bop, bop. Yeah, so this was that cemetery that I was talking about. It was absolutely beautiful. Very cool place to explore, to experience. And it was snowing there. In fact, like that's the breakfast that they provided, but here's it snowing. This is like right outside of our room. There's our room. It was so peaceful. Yeah, so for me, Japan, there's so many places in Japan that were super cool. Like there's a giant Gundam. So if you watch anime, you will likely have seen Gundam. And so like there's one that's like a few stories tall that you can go to. So yeah, I don't know. It's so cool. There's so many neat places in Japan. So this video, I'm still editing it, but it will come out in like 2 weeks. So this is just like a draft that I made for like family, so we could watch it like over the holidays, the first draft of it. But let me see if I can actually show you the monkeys. So you're able to feed the monkeys. There's a little baby monkey. And then like you can go outside of this area and they'll just like walk around like right next to you. It was super cool. So like this one actually ends up walking right next to me. But yeah, I don't know. Japan in the fall is amazing. It was so beautiful, and I really want to go back. But you know, gotta save up money because it's expensive. So, anyways, stay tuned for that to come out in a couple of weeks. The actual edited, finalized, the finalized version of that. But until then, there's a ton of videos that'll be coming out. So stay tuned. I'm actually going to get ready to play some more Borderlands 4, which I don't even remember what I was doing because I haven't played it in 2 months. So we'll see. But yeah, I will be doing a technique stream tomorrow, so we'll just like get the hands going again, playing on a pad. So stay tuned for that. But I appreciate everybody stopping in. If you enjoy these free resources, just share it with somebody else. And if you don't enjoy these free resources, then as always, just share it with an enemy. Either way, it helps. But anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in. Thank you for the good questions and for chatting with me. And yeah, anyways, goodbye.